This is episode 613. And today we're going to be talking about my personal hero philosophy. You know, I've been living by a motto that I learned quite a while ago. That is, how you do anything is reflection of how you do everything. And so in my particular case, I over time have started to develop a philosophy to live by so it perpetrates every area of my life. You know, my philosophy is based on several components. One is the four C's of mental strength, and as well as Stoicism and Bushido, and there's a whole bunch of other teachers and um, friends who have influenced my philosophy, and I wanted to put it down and share it with you. You know, there're just so many people who've been in my life, and I pick up nuggets from each of them, and I've been challenged through the heroic program, Brian Johnson, to come up with a philosophy. And I look back and I realize what are the things that I tell myself and what are the things that I tell my clients. And I brought them down to 10. So I'd like to share those 10 with you right now. The first one is finish what you start. You know, how often have we started something and left it? You won't be successful if you don't finish what you start. So make sure whatever you start, you commit to it and you stick with it to completion, no matter what. We usually have a tendency of trying something, I'll try to do something, or we start something and we allow distractions to come in and we never finish it. There are so many things, but you will find that when you finish what you start, and this is part of the commitment of mental strength, right? There's the four C's. One of them is commitment. When you finish what you start, one, you're going to be more discerning over what you start because if you make that commitment, and two, you will achieve much greater success, regardless if it's financial, physical, but you will achieve much greater success if you just finish what you start. The other is don't wait till you're thirsty to dig a well. You need to have a sense of urgency. Yes, we want to be in the now and we want to flow and be great, but you have things to get done in this world and you don't have forever to get them done. You need to have a sense of urgency. If you're in sales, you need to have a sense of urgency of calling the clients. If you want to get on a workout program, you have to have a sense of urgency that it has to be done now. If we have this laissez-faire attitude, nothing gets done. So you don't wait till you're thirsty to dig a well, meaning you don't wait to start getting in shape when you have to get in shape, when you're told by the doctor. You don't wait to look for a new job until you get fired. So you don't wait till whatever that is until you're thirsty. So you want to take action now. You want to have a sense of urgency and be prepared for yourself. You don't want to start saving money after you've gone broke, right? You want to save that beforehand so you can help yourself. So these are things that you don't wait till you're thirsty to dig a well. Words matter. Words have power. And when you understand how powerful your words are, the words include your self talk and what you say to others. You want to say it the way you want it, as opposed to, I don't want to be sick anymore. I want to be well. I don't want to be broke anymore. I want to have abundance. I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to be happy. You want to say it the way you want it. Start telling yourself a different story and watch how your life changes. You know, we can say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. I want to lose weight, but I don't have time. But those are words. And those words create a story. And then we have to live that in accordance with that story to prove that it's true. So words matter. Make sure you're telling yourself empowering stories and make sure you're telling yourself the way you want it. Focus. Multitasking is a falsehood. It is a myth. It does not work, period. There is too much research out there that shows that it doesn't. But focus, and I love the acronym, follow one course until successful. You're doing one task, you do it to done, and then you go for another one. One task at a time. Yes, we may have multiple tasks because we're waiting for feedback and stuff from other people, And we have to be aware of that. So if you start a task and send out a request, all of a sudden, if everybody replies back to you, you're not going to have that time. So you need to discern which one you're going to finish to your start. You have to determine what's important now. This gets back to the Eisenhower matrix and Steve Covey. Urgent and important. Those things have to be done now, and you do the first thing first to completion. Absolutely completion, which means finish what you start. If you're going to start something, you follow one course until successful and one thing at a time, but you have to determine what's important now. You put these things together, this is not going to be time management because you're managing your focus, and focus management equals time management. Hey, let me wake you up to something. No one said life is going to be easy. Embrace the suck, push yourself beyond your complacent zone, and get it done. No one said it's going to be easy. Yes, we all have our stories about why it's so difficult and why we can't. We'll change those stories, because words matter, into why you can or why you should. Right? It's not going to be easy. You go to the gym, it's not going to be easy to get up at 4 o'clock. Do it anyway. It's not going to be easy to go right after work. Do it anyway. It's not going to be easy to do these things. You do it anyway. You have to make a decision, right? Because that's one of the things that we can control is our decision. But no one no one said it's going to be easy. You see people that may be living an easy life. Well, for 20 years ahead of time, it wasn't, but they pushed through all of that and now they're reaping the rewards of it. There's no overnight success. And so when you start looking at whatever you want, promotion at work, sales, relationships, spirituality, it's not going to be easy. Just face it, it's not going to be easy because we don't learn when things are easy. We learn when things are tough. That's when our personal growth comes in. Control what you can. So this is the other C in mental strength. You can control your thoughts, which controls your beliefs, which controls your stories, which controls your attitude. You can control your attention as to what you're giving it. You control your actions, your habits, your beliefs, your emotions, your decisions. All of this is in your control. When you say life gets in the way, you're giving your power away. When you say, I allowed life to get in the way, you're taking back control. You need to take back control of the things you can. And again, when we say, oh, well, so-and-so did this, that you're pointing your finger at somebody else. You're playing the victim. You're saying, I don't have control over my decisions. At every point, you're at a bifurcation. I can decide to do this or decide to do that. When you control your thoughts, you will make the right decision. If you don't control your thoughts, you're going to be influenced by everything that goes on around you, and then you're going to not have success. You're going to feel burned out. You're going to feel stress because all of the stress, the burnout stress, comes from lack of control. Lack of control in our focus, lack of control in our calendar, lack of control in our behaviors. When you can go back to control them, and you can control your thoughts. You can control your attitude. You can control your stories. Control what you can and watch what a huge, huge change that'll make in your life. Make a decision. We're afraid to make decisions. The root of the word decide means to cut off. So once you decide on something, you cut off all other options. When you say yes to something, you say no to 1,000 other things. But most of the time we go maybe to something and maybe to 1,000 other things, and we don't get anything done. Maybe I'll do this, I'll do that. When you make a decision, we'll just say you're going to decide to go to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up and don't feel it. Your feelings don't count once you've made a decision. Determine what you want, commit to it, make a decision, finish what you start. When you make that decision, there are no other options. You are on that path. If you go, I'm going to eat healthy, and you define what that means, when a donut comes around your way, you don't get distracted because you made a decision on eating healthy. You made a decision of living prosperous. But we don't make decisions. We always say, well, I'll see what's going on. How many times have you responded or somebody responded to you, hey, you want to get together next Saturday? Well, yeah, unless something else comes up. That's not a decision. That's a flake. Make a decision. If somebody asks you, tell them yes or no. If somebody says, yeah, unless something else comes up, going, no, I need to know, yes or no. Make a decision and stick with it. My gosh, we are so decision phobic in here that we're afraid to make a decision about anything in our life. And then we wander around like a cork in the ocean, not knowing why our life isn't fulfilling. Make a decision. Embrace your archetypes. And there's 4 archetypes that I encourage both men and women to embrace, and that is the warrior, the king, the lover, and the magician, right? The king kind of sets the rules. The warrior takes the actions. Both of them together set goals. The lover is the appreciation of life, of all 7 descriptions of love, right? We want to be able to have the enjoyment of life with our partners, with our friends, with our creator, with nature. And then the magician, we want to be able to transmute ourselves and transmute our energy into something powerful. So embrace those archetypes. That could be a whole nother, matter of fact, I do have a whole coaching program about embracing your archetypes. But embrace your archetypes, right? When you're the warrior, you wake up at 4:00 in the morning, you get to the gym. When you make a decision, that's the king. When you make that decision, you say no to other things. Live by a code. We don't have codes. I mean, you go back, there's the code of honor, there's back in history, the medieval knights had codes. Bushido had a code. The West had a code. They're all codes to live by. And what this does is it provides you a path on which to walk your life. And you've made your decisions ahead of time and go, this is my path. And it's basically it's based on your values and your virtues. Your values are personal to you. The virtues are kind of universal. They can be things like courage, love, compassion, creativity are virtues. Values would be your health, your family, your work, your career. And when you combine those both together and create a code of how you're going to live every day, and then you adhere to that, that will automatically help you make decisions on how you want to live your life. And having a code of honor is so important, and it's quote old school, which nobody does anymore, but it helps us make decisions. It helps us live to the absolute fullest. Own it. Basically, own your life. This is your life. It's your results. You've created them. Own it. Quit being the victim, playing the victim, and pointing to 1,000 things outside of it. Take control, make a decision, finish what you start, go after it, own the results. If you had a faux pas, great, learn from it. You will. And this is why people don't want to make decisions, because what if I make the wrong decision? Well, great, make a decision. If it's wrong, you'll get feedback. Make another decision. It's okay. Just make a decision and own the result. Own the fact that you made this decision and that this is the result, and it may not be the result you want, but you correct and continue. But if you don't own it and you start blaming everybody else in the world, you're not going to have any power to change the result. You're not going to have any power to change your life. You're going to put it on your boss, on your significant other, on your kids, on whatever else. It's all of them that's creating your life. No, you're creating your life. Own it and change it if you don't like it. So just keep in mind that I hope sharing my philosophy has inspired you to live an empowered life and perhaps come up with your own code of honor, perhaps come up with your own philosophy. If you can, practice mine, borrow mine, use mine, practice these until you create your own and see how much your life is going to change. Read, listen, watch, and learn from others to create your own philosophy, to create your own code. And pick up people. You don't have to accept everything everybody says, but there could be that nugget. Take that nugget, put it aside, take that other nugget, and then start to put them together and go, wow, all these different nuggets align with me, and this is how I'm going to live. So if you like this podcast and want to see the show notes, which go into the description of my philosophy, you can find it at warriormindcoach.com. You can also find some more information over there, how to contact me for coaching, reading some recent blog posts, and listening to some other podcasts. And since you'll be on the internet, please follow me at LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.